Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The State University of New York, Upstate Medical University, College of Health Professions is happy to welcome you to our commencement ceremony. Today, we are part of a proud tradition in medicine, nursing, and health sciences. Today, we share your pride and joy. As a courtesy to your neighbors, please turn off or silence any cell phones or beepers. And now, please rise as we introduce the Upstate graduates of the year 2015. The procession is led by Chief Faculty Marshal, Miss Carrie Green Donnelly. Student Marshals, Robin LeKirk and Rebecca Bennett, and followed by the College of Health Professions, Flag Bearer Catherine Zoff. The academic officers and honored guests include Dr. Wanda Thompson, Senior Vice President for Operations, Dr. Lynn Cleary, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Mr. Thomas Taylor, Interim Chair, Upstate Medical University Council, Dr. Julie Rawls-White, Dean, Student Affairs, Miss Rachel Bennett, Student Speaker, Miss Reagan Maloney, Student Speaker, Ms. Joan O'Brien, Senior Associate Dean, College of Health Professions, Ms. Susan Graham, Associate Dean, College of Health Professions, Ms. Josephine Presbioria, President, College of Health Professions, Alumni Association, Dr. Dale Evers, Chair, Faculty Council, Dr. Hugh Bonner, Dean, College of Health Professions, Dr. Gregory Eastwood, Interim President, Upstate Medical University. Ms. Monica Moranti will now sing the national anthem.
It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Hugh W. Bonner, Dean and Professor, College of Health Professions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the graduation of the College of Health Professions for 2015. Students, you had a choice to come to a number of different places, and from the moment you came through our white coat ceremony, beginning your professional career, I thanked you, and I'm thanking you again, and I will be able to have the pleasure of shaking each of your hand today. But thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to help you begin your career. Our students will go out and they will improve the lives of so many people in the future, and we are so proud of everything that they've done. So I want to welcome them and congratulate them for everything they're doing. For those of you who are physically interested, these graduates, if taking the average wage, will increase the income of the general population of the United States by over $8 million this year. Most of the students will stay in New York, so congratulations, New York. Thank you very much.
It gives me great pleasure and honor to present Dr. Gregory Eastwood, Interim President of the State University of New York, Upstate Medical University.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the 2014 commencement exercises of the College of Health Professions of the State University of Upstate Medical University. This is the latest in a 181-year tradition. Isn't that remarkable? Dating back to 1834 at the founding of the Geneva Medical College in Geneva, New York. Since then, what we call Upstate Medical University has grown a lot. Commencement is the explicit evidence of the core mission of our university, education. It also reminds us of the magnificent broader missions that we have of research and of clinical care and service. And everything that we do here, whether it's in the basic science laboratory, in the clinical laboratory, in the classroom, or in the clinics and the hospitals, is to improve the welfare of patients. So those of you who are graduating today have committed to this noble cause, and I congratulate you for this remarkable commitment that you have made. You made it basically when you came here, and we're affirming it today. So the only advice I will give you, you're going to get lots of advice, is that hang on to that commitment and the ideals that you have, because if you don't, you might die inside when you're 45. I don't know if that happened to people you know, but I think the thing that has sustained many of us throughout our careers is that commitment to the ideals that brought us here in the first place. So, those of you who are graduating today are at the apex of an effort that has gone on for many, many years, but there are many people behind you, and I'd like to recognize those people who have given tangible assistance, emotional assistance, who have sometimes gone without so that you could be here and fulfill your dreams. So I'd like to recognize people here who fall in that category. I'd like the parents of the graduates to stand so we can recognize and acknowledge you and thank you. I'd like the husbands and wives and partners to stand. I'd like the children to stand or be held up. There, Glenn. Good. I would like grandparents, and if great-grandparents are here, please stand up. I'd like all other relatives and friends to please stand up. So on behalf of the faculty and staff of Upstate Medical University, I congratulate each of you who is graduating today. We're extraordinarily proud of you, your accomplishments, and I wish you well, and let's get on with the ceremonies. Thank you.
Rachel Bennett, a graduate in the Radiography CT program, has been invited to speak as the undergraduate student speaker. Will Ms. Bennett please come forward?
Good morning. When I was first asked to do this speech, I was terrified. Actually, I still am. Don't get me wrong, it was a huge honor. But the thought of standing here in front of millions of people, because that's what it looks like from up here, and speaking on behalf of majors I knew little about was daunting. So I did what anyone my age would do and consulted Google. That is when I heard Charlie Day, actor and writer of the TV show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, say, "Don't do what makes you happy, do what makes you great." We graduates have pursued careers helping people, and we didn't pick the most noble careers, the doctors and nurses that everyone thinks of when they see us walking down the street in scrubs or wearing our white coats. Our majors usually require some description. Our professions live in the shadows of healthcare. The ones that do so much for patients and doctors alike, but are rarely seen on Grey's Anatomy. So allow me to give you some brief insight. I proudly represent medical imaging. We contort you like a pretzel to take your x-rays, stick you inside banging coffins for an MRI, or inject you with contrast that convinces you you've wet your pants in CT. Patients don't seem to really appreciate us, and I'm not sure why. Our sonographers allow you to see your baby for the first time. Respiratory therapy comes to your aid when you're struggling to breathe, and radiation therapy treats your cancer. Medical technology and medical biotechnology spend all their time in the lab going through samples and running tests or conducting experiments used in medical research. And cardiovascular perfusionists play the role of your heart and lungs during open heart surgery. Collectively, we are the undergraduates of the College of Health Professions, and while we are not always the first to come to mind, we play a massive role in either providing the doctors with valuable diagnostic information or carrying out their orders for treatment. We had to go through 60 credit hours of prerequisites at a minimum before we could even consider going on to Upstate. I'm sure I'm not the only one who fondly remembers receiving the call with the news of admission. I jumped up and down, squealing like a little girl. Admittedly, there was even some dancing. Thankfully, there were no witnesses. If only I had known at that moment just what I had gotten myself into. The past 2 years have not been easy for any of us. There were many times when we were beyond stressed and overwhelmed with the coursework. For me personally, there are 2 words that still haunt my dreams: X-ray physics. I'm sure we all had to tackle emotional clinical experiences as well. But I am reminded of how far we have come and the importance of what it is we've been trained to do. The transition from learning in a textbook and practicing on our friends, not with real X-rays, into working with actual patients was quite memorable. My first chest X-ray. Take in a big, deep breath and hold it, I say in my most confident voice as I press the exposure button. As my picture comes up on the screen, I am so impressed with myself for actually getting it that I stand there taking in the beauty of my hard work. I went back into the room to position for the next view, and that is when my patient lets all of her air out and, gasping for breath, asks me if she can breathe yet because she's certain she's about to die. I was quickly reminded that I'm just a student. There were other first-time experiences in clinical that we can all appreciate having never learned in our textbooks, like how are you supposed to sneeze when you're wearing a mask? Or how do you scratch your nose when you're wearing sterile gloves? Or maybe it's the quiet reminder you tell yourself to put on your poker face the first time you hear suction, or the first time your eyes blur over from staring into a microscope for too long. Those first-time mistakes and jitters are gone. We are well seasoned after 2 years of practice and as many clinical sites as we could have possibly managed. We do what we do to help people, to be great. All of the hours of hard, endless, free labor have not deterred us. We found the strength and compassion to always care for our patients, even when the directions to take a small step to the left are met with the patient rotating their entire body to the left. Our determination has brought us to where we are today. In closing, I would like to end with a quote from none other than Marie Curie, a woman who devoted her entire life into the research of radioactivity and even operated a mobile X-ray unit close to the front lines during World War I. She said, "We must have perseverance and, above all, confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something. Class of 2015, we have that gift, and we have now mastered it. It's our time to make that space in the shadows shine. Congratulations and thank you."
Megan Maloney, a graduate in the Physician's Assistant Study Program, has been invited to speak as the graduate student speaker. Will Ms. Maloney please come forward?
Graduates, faculty, parents, and relatives, good morning, and thank you for celebrating the graduation of the SUNY Upstate College of Health Professions class of 2015. Graduates, we've done the bachelor's thing, now we have our master's or our doctorate. There's nothing left. It's time to get a job. As members of this university, we are a diverse group, not only in our programs, but in where we came from and the individual experiences that we each bring to our class dynamic. We are all, however, united in our goal for the future, providing quality health care for our communities and striving to make a difference in people's lives. And that's pretty remarkable. Take a moment to think about your journey here today. Some may think about all the prerequisites we had to fulfill. Some may think about the tedious applications with unceasing questions to answer. And some may think about the anxiety over a 30-minute interview that may determine the rest of your life. My anxiety, however, peaked when my interviewer asked me, "Well, you're from Texas, so you hunt, right?" Luckily or unluckily, I quite literally had been on a deer hunt with my brother not 48 hours prior, so I just went with it. My answer contained my brother's thesis extolling the virtues of covering my human scent with deer hormone spray. For those who don't know, that means deer urine. Evidently, our program cherishes all kinds of diversity. Once we were accepted into Upstate, we went through the joy of balancing several exams a week, figuring out exactly how much caffeine, sugar, or food it takes to sustain a full day of studying, and knowing that, yes, procrastination is still alive and well in graduate school. I, for one, being from Texas, learned that despite what it looks like on a map, Syracuse is nowhere near New York City. I also learned that snot can freeze inside your nose, and that my preconceived notion of 30 degrees being considered cold was absolutely absurd. Together, we learned that once you enter the healthcare field, all chances for appropriate conversations in public pretty much go out the window. And necessity is always the mother of invention. When it came to figuring out ways to remember things, we were able to come up with some pretty interesting mnemonics, a few profane phrases that if ever asked to repeat aloud, we'd plead the fifth, and even on occasion, a picture of a cyclops. On a more serious note, we learned that sometimes even our best still wasn't good enough. But failing gave us another opportunity to rededicate our efforts and succeed, occasionally even surpassing our own expectations. Finally, we learned that the immense sense of joy and satisfaction from doing our part to help someone sick get well makes all of this worth it. As we end our time here at Upstate, I encourage the graduates to reflect on a few things. First, we did not get here alone, nor will we get very far without the continued support of those around us here today. We must not take them for granted, nor be afraid to rely on them when we need to. Our families at home dealt with our weird schedules, lack of communication, and our emotional roller coasters. One day we'd be slamming cups of coffee and studying like a fiend, and the next, breaking down on the couch, eating our feelings, and watching some mindless TV show because, after all, we were done thinking for the week. Despite all of this, they still managed to love and support us. Our faculty and administration provided us with examples to follow as we progressed towards our chosen careers. They reassured us that every student goes through the same ups and downs and tried as hard as they could to remind us to relax. They wanted us to succeed, and so we have. Last but not least, our classmates. They provided solidarity in our mutuality and helped us to remember to laugh, even if we had just had the worst week possible. Well, more so they were laughing at us, but you get the point. There was laughing involved. In many ways, our classmates became like our second family. Like a younger sibling, you may have wanted to strangle them a time or two, but at the end of the day, y'all were in this together. Which leads me to number 2. Choose to surround yourself with people who inspire you. I don't know about the rest of the programs, but within the PA program, we were never quite able to grasp the idea of not putting what some people may call it type A. Others would just say pain in the butt. This same sort of stubbornness to constantly set and achieve our goals is, I'm sure, what brought all of us here today. If we are to carry on with this same level of success, we must continue to surround ourselves with people who will challenge us to do better, for mediocrity serves no one. Number 3, one of the best pieces of advice that I received was from a surgeon who told me to just have fun. If I wasn't enjoying myself, then I was doing something wrong. Granted, he cut people open for a living, which may be a little disconcerting, but he had a point. As we begin our careers, I challenge you to have fun in your work, where you work, and who you work with. Enjoy what you have achieved, who you are, and the journey towards who you'll become. As the ever so clever and insightful Conan O'Brien puts it, work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen. To the class of 2015, congratulations.
The degrees from the College of Health Professions will now be conferred by President Eastwood. Dr. Hugh Bonner, Dean of the College of Health Professions, will present the recipients of the degree in the College of Health Professions. Undergraduate students receiving academic honors have met the following grade point criteria: summa cum laude, 3.9 to 4.0; magna cum laude, 3.75 to 3.899; cum laude, 3.6 to 3.749. Graduate students receiving academic honors have met the following grade point criteria: high honors, 3.9 to 4.0; honors, 3.8 to 3.899. Post-professional doctorate of physical therapy graduates are not eligible for honors.
Dr. Eastwood, as Dean of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present those recipients of the degree Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Professional Studies. With the completion of the curriculum, they have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the conferring of this degree.
Will all candidates for the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Professional Studies degrees in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Professional Studies with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Joining Dr. Eastwood and Dr. Bonner in congratulating our graduates are the following department chairs: Mr. Bruce Searles, Cardiovascular Perfusion; Ms. Susan Graham, Clinical Laboratory Sciences; Mr. David Clementi, Medical Imaging Sciences; Ms. Joan O'Brien, Radiation Therapy; Mr. Joseph Sorbello, Respiratory Therapy. Amanda Lynn Austin, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor's of Science. Jared William Beanstalk, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor's of Science. April Sunshine Cohen, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science. Yusuf Shadat, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Bachelor of Science. Rachel Megan Gambino, Jean Lang, Excellence in Professionalism Award, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Nolan Scholarship Award, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Research and Education Award. Yuming Liu, cum laude, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Academic Excellence Award, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Nolan Scholarship Award, American Academy of Cardiovascular Perfusion, Student Ambassador. Nabil Manari, Cardiovascular Perfusion, Clinical Excellence Award. Sarah Nicole Polam, Bachelor of Science, Cardiovascular Perfusion. Melissa Abadi, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Joseph Cicerelli, summa cum laude, Student Research Award. Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Matthew Costanza, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Caitlin Croston, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Maria Doldo, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Gwen Marie Goldburn, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Chelsea Jane Hanno, summa cum laude, American Society for Clinical Pathology, Scholarship, Seaman Scholarship Award. Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Allison Elizabeth Harrington, Rinker Robinson Memorial Scholarship. Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Brian J. Helliker, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Jennifer A. Cates, cum laude, American Society for Clinical Pathology, Scholarship, Seaman Scholarship Award, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Philip Millspaugh, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Aaron T. O'Leary, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Kristen M. Rockfall, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Cassandra Jacqueline Rayburn, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Oscar M. Valera, Bachelor of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Rachel D. Bennett, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Thomas H. Armstrong, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Anna L. Bush, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Andrea E. Cheney, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Sciences, Medical Imaging Sciences. Aaron M. Clinton, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Nicole M. Diglia, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Abby L. Dumond, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Brittany R. Hazelmeyer, summa cum laude, outstanding academic achievement, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Irina S. Henry, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Professional Studies, Medical Imaging Sciences. Paige L. Johnson, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Jennifer I. Kimberly, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. John C. Knack, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Professional Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Aaron Miley, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Stephen A. Melfi, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Chelsea L. Morrissey, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Samantha A. Murphy, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Sasha Pina, outstanding academic achievement, Bachelor of Professional Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Carrie Ann Quinn, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Mariah Catherine Russ, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Michael A. Ryan, Bachelor of Professional Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Catherine May Sheldon, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Emily K. Sherman, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Wendy Marie Skiff, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Frederick M. Supacani, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Melanie Thorpe, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Allison Wasendak, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Medical Imaging Sciences. Harold Appleby, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Samantha Ben, Bachelor of Professional Science, Radiation Therapy. Anna Brothers, summa cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Chelsea Fitzgerald, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Lauren Haberly Peterson, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Robin Rain, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Brianna Rossi, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Kyle Rutan, Bachelor of Science, Radiation Therapy. Amy Lynn Stefanik, Bachelor of Professional Science, Radiation Therapy. Brittany Nicole Zitch, summa cum laude, Radiation Therapy Department, Academic Achievement Award. Jeffrey Bilhars, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Ethan Curtis, summa cum laude, New York State Society for Respiratory Care, Central New York Chapter, Distinguished Student Award. Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Minnie Etiu, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Taylor Misro, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Stephanie Nicole Ryan, magna cum laude, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Timothy Schroeder, cum laude, Respiratory Therapy Education, Clinical Practice Award, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Sharon Strau, cum laude, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Alex Robert Tabone, summa cum laude, Respiratory Therapy Education Outstanding Student Award, Respiratory Therapy Education Community Service Award, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Catherine Elizabeth Zoff, summa cum laude, Respiratory Therapy Academic Achievement Award, New York State Society Respiratory Central New York Chapter Academic Achievement Award, Lambda Beta National Honor Society for Respiratory Care, Bachelor of Science, Respiratory Therapy Education. Graduates in the Clinical Laboratory Sciences program are being hooded by Miss Susan Graham. Graduates in the Physical Therapy Assistant program are being hooded by Miss Sandra Baines.
Dr. Eastwood, as Dean of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present these recipients of the degree Master of Science. With the completion of the curriculum, they have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for the conferring of this degree.
Will all candidates for the degree Master of Science in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Elena Crystal Cook, Master of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Abigail E. Dietz, Student Research Award, Master of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Joan Kathleen Mark, with honors, Master of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Angela M. Rios, Master of Science, Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Graduates in the Physician Assistant Program are being hooded by Miss Sandra Baines and Dr. Thomas Wolf. Danielle N. Allington, with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Adisa Endelia, with high honors, Outstanding Academic Award, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Manella Endelia, with honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Kofi Asaya, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Melissa Sue Aubin, with honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Patricia Barletta, with high honors, Outstanding Clinical Award, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Mark S. Booth, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Kelly Ann Brissenden, with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Emma Brixon, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Lauren Emily Campagna, with honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Stephanie Colenzo, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Rosany Chavez, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Nancy Chung, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Jennifer Couliard, with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Emily Naismith Devens, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Emily Farbo, with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Rosa Lynn Crystal Koster, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Kia London, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Megan Marie Maloney, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Andrew McKay, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Sabrina Mayer with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Stephanie Mix with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Laura Nersinger with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Michael Oddie with high honors, Outstanding Clinical Award, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Joseph Pelton with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Emilia Catherine Peluso with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Lauren Michelle Riley, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Melissa Shabah Rowe, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Melissa Beth Rudowski with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Hannah Schindler Navarro with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Kayla Lynn Shatuk, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program. Bradley Weiler with high honors, Master of Science, Physician Assistant Program.
Dr. Eastwood, as Dean of the College of Health Professions, I have the honor to present the recipients Doctor of Physical Therapy. With the completion of the curriculum, they will have satisfied the requirements established by the faculty and have been recommended by the faculty for conferring of this degree.
Will all candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree in the College of Health Professions please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the State University of New York, upon completion of all requirements, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy with all its rights, privileges, and obligations. Please come forward to be individually recognized and for induction into the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Graduates in the Doctor of Physical Therapy program are being hooded by Dr. Michelle Dolphin and Dr. Dale Avers. Dr. Lee William Berube, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Deanna Bishop, Student Research Award, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Kelly Brenchen, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jennifer Lou Collis, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Kara Corsiniti, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Austin Crane, Student Research Award, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Allison Dalton, Student Research Award, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Erin Marissa Decker, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Alex Deming. Dr. Aaron Duffy, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Sarah Ellithorpe, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Brianna Marie Fitzpatrick, with honors, Physical Therapy Education Clinical Excellence Award. Dr. Carolyn Grant Case, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Aaron Paul Heyer, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Lori Holmes, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Ann Wok Ayamada, with honors, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Jeffrey Michael Kita, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Paul Joseph Cryer, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Okay. Dr. Chad Michael LaChance, Michael P. Baum, Physical Therapy Practice Scholarship. Dr. Jessica Marie Loretz, with honors, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Caleb Ludlow, Student Research Award, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Marissa Mariletta, with high honors, Physical Therapy Education Academic Achievement Award. Dr. Grace Rose McIntosh, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Renee Miller, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Sean Noonan, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Leah Alexandra Pep. Dr. Geraldine Pfeiffer, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Danielle Catherine Pizzuto. Dr. Derek Powell. Dr. Jordan Elise Remillard, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Emily Mae Rolls, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Marie Podbelski, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Nicole Slavinsky, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Caitlin McNeely Smegalski, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Timothy Stair, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Dawn Marie Sudol, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Elizabeth Haley Van Nortwick, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. E. Ann Whalen, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Dr. Ashley May Zarugian, Doctor of Physical Therapy.
The oath of the health professions, which is printed in your program, will be administered by Mr. James Vossler, Assistant Professor in the Clinical Laboratory Sciences program. Will the graduates of the College of the Health Professions please rise?
Will all graduates in the College of Health Professions please recite with me? In the presence of my colleagues, family, friends, and teachers, I proudly make the solemn vow. Dr. Hugh Bonner will now present the Dean's Outstanding Student Award.
Each year, the faculty in the College of Health Professions have the opportunity to nominate a student for the Dean's Outstanding Student Award. This award is given to the student who combines academic excellence, and outstanding campus and professional service. This year we have the honor to present a respiratory therapy student, Katie Soft. Katie, please come forward. Come on, Katie.
It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Josie Prespioria, President of the College of Health Professions Alumni Association.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Commencement, to the beginning. And actually, I'd like to start by acknowledging another beginning, Dean Bonner's retirement after 20 years as Dean of the College of Health Professions. And on behalf of myself and the Alumni Association, I would like to extend warm congratulations and sincerest thanks for your support over the years. And in case some of you haven't heard, Dean Bonner's support will continue even after he is no longer physically present on campus through an endowment that he and his wife have established. This endowment will offer short-term aid for students faced with a financial emergency. The hope is that this will enable the student to continue on the path towards a medical professional career despite unexpected obstacles. So all of you here on stage have successfully navigated this path. You have arrived, and congratulations. And Rachel, I also checked in with Google, and I found a remark made by Journal Jonathan Kahn describing graduation speakers. He said that we're like mixed seasonal vegetables. When you go to a restaurant, you expect them to be on your plate, but they're not the reason you went there, and they're not what you remember most about the meal. So I hope what all of you can remember, one of the things you can remember about today, is that you are now members of the Alumni Association. We don't have any dues, and you don't have to attend meetings unless you'd like to be on the board. But the membership affords you the opportunity to stay connected with your teachers and your Upstate colleagues. Today, you are all officially health professionals. Soon, you will be teachers and mentors. I encourage you to look to your Alumni Association for guidance as you assume these roles. Congratulations.
It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Hugh Bonner to the podium to introduce our distinguished speaker.
Well, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Gregory L. Eastwood, the interim president of Upstate Medical University, to serve as our speaker today, our distinguished speaker. Dr. Eastwood, following the movement of his career, was the Dean of Medicine at the Medical College of Georgia and we recruited him to come to Upstate in 1993 to become president of Upstate Medical University. He served as the president until he retired in 2006, and immediately after he retired, he became the interim president in his alma mater of medical school of Case Western Reserve in Cleveland. He went back there in their time of need and served very diligently, and he was also the director of the Inamuri International Center for the Ethics and Excellence. He was there for a couple of years, and then he returned to become a professor and researcher here at the Upstate Center for Bioethics and Humanities. And a couple of years ago, he was asked to come back, and this was 2.5 years ago, he was asked to come back and serve in an interim role as the president, and he's still here, guiding us along and keeping us under control. So with that, I'm welcoming a long-term director of Upstate Medical University, our ethical czar, Gregory Eastman.
You better behave. Thank you, Hugh. Commencement speakers often express gratitude for being asked to speak, and I'm no exception. I'm very pleased to do this. I thank you for the opportunity. Over 22 years that I've been here, I've I've developed a real affection for the students and the faculty and the leaders of the College of Health Professions, and I hope that shows. I also want to acknowledge the 20-year tenure of your dean, Hugh Bonner. I recruited him to this place, and now I'm officiating over his retirement, so I feel a real sense of not really closure, but some part of the cycle is being fulfilled here. And I'm very proud of Hugh's personal accomplishments, both here on campus and on the national scene. He's on about every imaginable board related to allied health and health professions, and of course, under his stewardship over the last 20 years, the college has thrived. So I said I was happy to be here. You've heard it said many times by speakers in their introductory comments that, I can't remember who my high school speaker was, or my college, or in my case, my medical school speaker, and that's true, and you're probably not going to remember me. But I'm going to do something that doesn't require you either listening, or even remembering. I'm going to give you a blessing, and that will stick whether you listen or remember. It'll have the same effect. Now, it takes a little hubris on my part, because I have no ecclesiastical standing, but I'm empowered by this costume that I'm wearing now, and you will have 6 blessings. Now, that's not 7, which is a holy number, or 12, but 6. So here's my benediction to you. First, may you never forget why you became a health professional. To be involved in the health of people, either directly in patient care or one step off in the laboratory or some other responsibility, is a real privilege and a real commitment, and it's among the highest of callings. The hardening process will work at you. It does for all of us. But if you, as I indicated earlier, if you lose your passion and your idealism, somehow you'll run out of gas and you'll die inside. I've seen it. I also know from personal experience that if you keep that alive, it's very beneficial. The second blessing is, may you look for ways to change the world. You'll have many opportunities to do this. They usually come in small doses, every day, little pieces, and you don't recognize them. But it's marvelous. As they accumulate, you can make real change. Every now and then you have the opportunity to make a big change, but most of the time it's small and almost undetectable until they accumulate. The third blessing is, may you look for opportunities to be a leader. You are ideally suited for leadership. You're smart, You know what's what. You have a great deal of energy, and these are all ideal attributes of being a leader. Now, you'll be leaders simply because of the field that you have chosen. People will look to you for leadership. You will be leaders, of course, in your profession, in your church, in your community, in the organizations in which you work, perhaps professional organizations. Those are logical. But I can guarantee you, if we can accumulate here in another 15 years, some of you will be leaders in areas that you haven't even thought of today. You may be in politics. I hope some of you do go into politics, because it'd be good. Some of you may be leaders in industry. Some of you may be leaders in other areas. You have natural capacities for leadership. So I urge you to answer this call to leadership, because the world very much needs leaders like you are. Fourth, may you be trustworthy and truthful and strive to do the right thing. So doing the right thing is not always clear. In fact, Mark Twain made a quip, "Always do right. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest." You are in a profession where you're expected to do the right thing and not astonish anyone about that. So that is a big order, and people often will forgive you if you make a mistake in good faith. They're not as likely to forgive you if you are untrustworthy and deceptive. Fifth, may you be wildly successful. If success for you means social prominence, influence, a good income, and achievements that society values, I hope that you are successful in those areas, providing that there is no harm to other people. If success means a feeling of commitment, fulfillment, and self-worth, I hope you're successful also without qualification. And finally, may you be a credit and true to all who love you, some of them in this room, your family, your friends, this college and university, and most of all, to your own sense of values and what you want to accomplish during this life. I congratulate each of you. Thank you.
Before we conclude, I would like to really point out that, as you can tell, we put a great deal of emphasis on our students. We expect and we do everything we can to make sure that you are as successful in the professions that you have chosen to go into. We are proud of you, and we will continue to spend our time working to make sure that you're successful. While we focus on the student as our reason for being, I would also like to congratulate our faculty, and I would like all of our faculty who are sitting here, if you're in the audience, some of the faculty are in the graduate level as well and sitting on the stage. I would like each of the faculty to stand up, please, and stand up for a few moments. Our faculty are the heart and the nerve system of why we are so successful and have been successful since we became a college in 1972. They have undying respect for their students, and they spend so much time in working to make sure that the students are successful. Our students appreciate the work that they've done. Every time we have any type of student satisfaction, they praise our faculty to the highest standards possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, the faculty of the College of Health Professions, the best in the country. Okay, you may sit down. Enough embarrassment, thank you. Well, this concludes our ceremony. Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates. So if you'd give one more, please stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt you are in great hands in the future. Please also join us for a reception at the campus activity building, the CAB, and please remain here while the students and the faculty go through the progression to leave. We will meet all of you. You may meet all of your students outside after the progression, so please don't leave until the students and the faculty have had a chance to march out. I'd like to point out, as we are leaving, we have two faculty that have been elected by the faculty to serve as the marshals. And I would like to point out, and with great deal of respect, and I would like to honor Patricia Duffy, who is one of our marshals, who is retiring after 38 years on the faculty and 40 years at Upstate Medical University. So marshals, please lead us out.